Let me ask you a question. How long would you wait to achieve a dream? A year? 5 years? 10? What about 18? 18 years. That number? Well, that number is everything. It's the key to an unbelievable story about loyalty, struggle, and finally, glory.
So today, we're going to unpack the incredible 18-season journey of cricket superstar Virat Kohli with just one team, Royal Challengers Bangalore. And let me tell you, this is a story that goes so much deeper than just runs and wickets.
All right, so let's rewind the clock, way back to 2008. The IPL is his brand new, flashy thing. And in walks his 19-year-old kid, Virat Kohli, who just captained India to the Under-19 World Cup. But here's the thing. He wasn't the big star everyone was chasing, not even close. He was actually kind of the underdog. And this, right here, is one of those classic what-if moments in sports history. You see, Kohli's home team, Delhi, had the first pick of the U19 players, but they figured, our batting lineup is stacked, let's grab a bowler. So they picked Pradeep Sangwan. And that one decision, boom, it swung the door wide open for RCB's owner, Vijay Mallya, to swoop in and grab the kid who would define his franchise.
Now, you might think he burst onto the scene and just lit the world on fire, right? Nope. It was a slow burn, a real grind. Those first few years, his scores were pretty modest, averaging just 15 in that first season. He was figuring it out, and the team, they showed incredible patience with him, a decision that, well, it would pay off in a massive way.
So after finding his feet, he enters this whole new chapter, the captaincy. And from 2013 to 2021, this is where things get complicated. Because you have this wild paradox where Kohli himself explodes into one of the best batsmen on the planet, but the team, they just couldn't get over that final hurdle. Yeah, and look, the stats tell the story pretty clearly. In 143 games as captain, he actually lost more than he won. They were always competitive, always in the playoffs, but they never got to lift that trophy. It was this constant battle, his individual genius against this painful collective frustration. And if you really want to understand that frustration, you just have to look at one season, 2016. This was the year he went full-on superhero. I mean, he did things with a bat that nobody had ever seen before. And yet, somehow, it still wasn't enough. Just look at that number, 973. Let that sink in for a second. That is still, to this day, the all-time record for the most runs by one player in a single IPL season. It wasn't just good, it felt like he was playing a completely different game from everyone else. And if that number doesn't blow your mind, try this one. 4. As in 4 centuries in one season. Most elite players are thrilled to get maybe 1 a year. He got 4. It was just insane. I mean, this just shows you what a ridiculous outlier that season was. His 400s in 2016 literally doubled his next best performance. He basically put the team on his back, dragged them all the way to the final, and then they lost. By a razor-thin margin. All that work, all that genius, and the king still had no crown. So you can imagine, after years of this, by 2021, something had to give. The pressure, the weight of expectations, the constant heartbreak, it all just caught up to him. He stepped down from captaincy, and his own words were, "My tank was absolutely empty. Just gone. It was truly the end of an era."
But you know what they say about legends, right? They always find a way back. He had a bit of a dip in form after giving up the captaincy, sure. But what came next was an incredible comeback. Once that burden of leadership was gone, the pure batsman inside him just roared back to life.
And the difference is just night and day. Seriously, look at this. 2022 was one of his worst seasons ever. 2 years later, he wins the orange cap for the most runs in the entire tournament. It was like he was reminding everyone, hey, don't you forget who I am. And it was the perfect setup for the final chapter.
Which brings us to 2025, season number 18. This time, there's a new captain, Rajat Patidar, and the whole team just seems different. They're playing with this new freedom, and that dream, that 18-year-old dream, all of a sudden, it felt possible.
So here we are, the final, against a really tough Punjab Kings team. But this time, RCB didn't crumble. They held their nerve. Kohli played that crucial anchor role, getting a vital 43. But it was the bowlers, man. They were the real heroes, defending that score with everything they had. And after 18 long years, they did it. They won the IPL trophy by just 6 runs. Unbelievable. For years, the fans had this chant, E Sala Cup Namde, which basically means this year the cup will be ours. It was always a hope, a prayer, but on that night it changed. It became E Sala Cup Namdu. The cup is ours. It was a fact. The sheer emotion, for Kohli, for the fans, you can't even put it into words.
So when you look back at it all, what's his real legacy? Yeah, winning the trophy was huge, the stats are mind-blowing, but his story, it's really defined by something that's almost extinct in modern sports: loyalty.
And don't just take my word for it, he said it himself. In an era of player auctions and trades, he's the only player to have stuck with the same team for all 18 seasons of the IPL. The one and only. A true one-club man.
His dominance is just stamped all over the record books. Most runs ever, most centuries, that insane single-season record, most games for one team. The list is endless. For 18 years, he wasn't just in the league. In many ways, he was the league.
And that loyalty, it did something powerful. It helped build RCB into a team that people adored, even when they lost. It became a billion-dollar global brand. He wasn't just their best player. He was the architect of the team's entire identity.
So, I'll leave you with this to think about. In today's sports world, where players are always chasing the next big contract, the next best chance to win, what's the real value of an 18-year journey with one team? What does that kind of loyalty really mean in the end?